Hello wine people, welcome to Thirsty and Wise, where we simplify wine. My name is Peter and I'm a wine educator. In today's video I'll explain everything about 4 important Italian white grape varieties that you need to know for your WSET Level 2 in wines, and one of them is not Pinot Grigio. This channel is for you if you're interested in wine or you want to get interested in wine, if you believe that the world of wine should be more simple and approachable for everybody. Please consider to subscribe, join us, and let's change the world of wine together. Let's start the video. Okay, wine people, in this video I'll explain 4 important Italian white grape varieties that you need to know for your WSET Level 2 in wines. We'll talk about Cortese, Garganega, Verdicchio, Fiano. I'll show you and I'll explain where these wines are coming from, and I'll explain their characteristics. In reality, it is very challenging on a blind tasting to tell apart Italian wines, especially wines that are coming from not so well known regions and are not made from the classical grape varieties. Especially Italian wines, there's so many of them, but I'll put them side by side so you can actually see what are the major differences between the wines and their styles. So next time when you actually have a chance to taste these wines, try to focus and find these differences between the wines. Also, I found it from my experience that students that are not in the wine industry or never had a chance to taste these wines or serve these wines, it's very challenging for them to remember the appellations and the regions, appellations and the grape varieties connected to the regions. So I think this video will help. If you're not fully aware of these grape varieties in the regions, for me, when I'm studying something that I'm studying for the first time, for me it helps me, repeating the same information 4 or 5 times. It stays in my head. And on the end, I'll answer 10 WSET example questions. Okay. First of all, I'll show you a few maps where the wines are coming from, and then we'll compare them side by side. So this is a map of Italy. Italy is very characteristic for that actually it has 20 regions and all 20 regions make wine. That's why it makes challenging to remember all Italian wines. But today we'll focus on four regions and 4 different grape varieties that you need to remember. One thing that you need to know about Italy, it's a very long country, and basically the climate changes as you move from north to south. So the north is going to be more cooler. It's surrounded by Alps, and then in the south it's more Mediterranean climate and it's more warmer, meaning that the grapes produced there have more sugar and usually produce fuller styles of wine compared to the north. Also, a moderating effect in Italy is influenced by the seas, Mediterranean seas that surround Italy in the south, east and west. And also Apennine mountains, they go through the country all the way until the south and influence the climate in a way that higher altitude enables a longer growing season and can produce grapes that are more fresher and higher in acidity and lower in sugar, more balanced. So the regions that we're going to focus is here in the northwest, Piemonte, Veneto in the northeast part around Venezia, Torino is in Piemonte, Marche around Ancona, and Campania around Napoli. Okay, so you already you can get an idea what kind of style we should expect from appellations that are coming from in the north, in the middle, and then also in the south. So I mean, these are more detailed maps than you need to have and know for WSET, but it's just a little bit more awareness will not hurt. So on this map you can actually see so the 4 appellations that we're going to be talking about is Gavi for Cortese, it is Soave for Garganega. So on this map you can actually see in Piemonte the appellation of Gavi. Gavi is here in green, and the grape variety will be Cortese. Then in Veneto, where is it? Okay, oh, sorry. So the appellation of Soave, and we're going to be talking about grape variety Garganega. Okay. So here you can see that it's actually a more northern, more continental influenced climate that is going to produce more fresher style wines. Then Marche is on the east coast, in the middle of the country, and Verdicchio Castelli di Gessi is the appellation in Marche, and it is produced by Verdicchio grape. So that's why it's called in Italy you're going to see a lot of appellations, actually the grape and where it's coming from. So for example here, Verdicchio de Castelli di Gessi, grape variety Verdicchio, coming from the town of Gessi. Okay. And the last grape variety is Fiano, and we'll focus on Campania from the appellation of Avellino. So the appellation will be Fiano di Avellino, Fiano grape from the appellation of Avellino. Okay, so here you can actually see the things that we're going to be talking about for these 4 grape varieties. So we'll talk about basically their style and how the wines are made. So sweetness, body, acidity, aromas, appellations, winemaking, and development, if the wines are meant for aging or not, if they have potential for aging or not. So here I put 4, you can see Cortese, Garganega, Verdicchio, and Fiano, and then we'll go one by one, side by side, for you to see the main differences between the wines. Because the wines are quite similar, but there are some differences that there's some differences between the wines. So Cortese is associated with the appellation of the region of Piedmont. It comes from the appellation of Gavi DOCG. Produces wines that are dry, light-bodied, and high in acidity. Wines are made in an with inert winemaking, meaning that they use stainless steel, lower temperatures for fermentation in order to produce wines that are light and fresh. The characteristic of aroma of Gavi, the wines are characterized by blossom, green apple, and lemon. And these wines are not really meant for aging, they're meant to be consumed young, fresh. Garganega is connected with the region of Veneto. There's 3 appellations that you need to know: Soave DOC, Soave Classico DOC, and Recioto di Soave DOCG. So the wines are made in dry and sweet style. The sweet style that you need to remember is Recioto di Soave DOCG. So when you see Recioto on the Italian wines, Recioto indicates a sweet style of wine. Recioto is usually connected to Veneto, but there's some other regions that use this term as well. So if you see Soave Classico, those are going to be dry styles. If you see Recioto di Soave DOCG, it's going to be a sweet style. The main difference between Soave and Soave Classico, they're 2 different appellations. Soave will be more on a flatter land, higher yields. The wines are going to be more simple and lighter, not as complex as Soave Classico. Usually comes from a higher steeper hills, lower yields, and the wines are more concentrated and complex and have the ability to age in the bottle. The wines are usually light to medium bodied, so Soave will be more lighter, Soave Classico will be more towards medium body. Aromas are green apple, lemon, peach. So primary aromas. Wine doesn't age in oak. but can age in a bottle and develop aromas of honey and almond. Like I said, wines are classically, traditionally not aged in oak and have potential for aging, especially for Soave Classico and Recioto di Soave. Also to mention, Recioto di Soave is made by Appassimento method. If you didn't see the video on winemaking and sweet winemaking, please see that. Basically, Appassimento is a way to produce sweet wines. Verdicchio. Verdicchio comes from a region of Marche, from appellation Verdicchio di Castelli di Jesse DOC. Produces wines that are dry, medium in bodied, high in acidity. You can see that all wines so far are high in acidity. Most of them are dry except the Recioto. Light to medium bodied. So on a blind tasting, you know, these are things that are not so easy to tell apart from each wine. So that's why we're looking for, you know, subtle differences between these wines. On the aromas, there's I would say a aroma that is more specific to Verdicchio, and that is aroma of fennel. So a more herbaceousness in this wine, green apple and lemon as well. And then also Verdicchio can be produced in a more simple style, lighter style, but there's Verdicchios that are produced in a more premium and complex, fuller body styles. And these wines can age in a bottle and develop aromas of honey and nuts. Usually done in an inert way. It's not aged in oak, but higher quality wines have the ability to age in a bottle. And on the end is Fiano. So Fiano comes from the region of Campania, from the appellation of Fiano di Avellino DOCG. Like you saw on the Italian map, Campania is in the south, more warmer Mediterranean climate, produces grapes that are more riper, fuller, and have the ability to even age in oak. The wines are dry, full-bodied, medium acidity because of the more ripeness. Aromas more riper fruit than the previous three, so more towards peach, melon, mango, bread and dough. The wines are also aged on lees, smoke that comes from aging in oak, and also honey with bottle development. So these wines, when you taste them, a more complex style of Fiano can actually have primary, secondary, and tertiary aromas. Okay, remember all this? Okay, so let's do the 10 questions. Please let me know how well you did and if you have any questions. What is the variety of Gavi? Garganega, Cortese, Fiano, Verdicchio. The correct answer is Cortese. Okay, you see now the challenge terms that you're not used to, and especially if they're most of them are something that you're coming across for the first time, it can be challenging. So Gavi, Cortese. I made also a video on white wine appellations in Excel sheet, so I think this will additionally help you in your studies. What is the variety of Soave? Garganega, Cortese, Fiano, Verdicchio. The correct answer is A, Garganega. Which region is Verdicchio grape growing in Italy? Veneto, Campania, Marche, Piedmont. The correct answer is C, Marche. Verdicchio is connected with Marche. Which region is Fiano grape growing in Italy? Veneto, Campania, Marche, Piedmont. The correct answer is B, Campania. Which term indicates sweet wine in Italy? Classico, Riserva, Recioto, Amarone. The correct answer is Recioto. Which description best describes Gavi DOC? Light, fresh, blossom, green apple, light, ripe, green apple, vanilla, full body, ripe, melon, vanilla, full body, green apple, blossom. The correct answer is A, light, fresh, blossom, green apple. Which aroma best describes Verdicchio? Lemon, green apple, peach, and fennel. I'm looking for the specific aroma that is more specific to the grape variety Verdicchio. The correct answer is D, fennel. Which appellation produces ripest style of wine? Gavi DOC, Soave Classico DOC, Verdicchio de Castelli de Jesse, or Fiano di Avellino DOCG? The correct answer is D, Fiano di Avellino. Which wine is not meant for aging? Soave, like for example, this specific question is not something that you will get on WSET Level 2, but it is good for you to understand the logic and understand what influences the style, of wine, quality and price. Which wine is not meant for aging? Soave Classico DOC, Gavi DOCG, Verdicchio di Castelli di Jesse DOC, or Fiano di Avellino? The correct answer is B. Gavi is generally a wine that is not meant for aging, where others, there are examples that are lighter and examples that can age and get more complex. Which technique is used to make Recioto di Soave? Late harvest, appassimento, noble rot, adding sugar to the wine. The correct answer is B, appassimento. Let me know how well you did. Wine people, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope this video was fun and informative for you to watch. Please let us know if you have any questions. It is very important if you want to get distinction on WSET, but in general to be more wise about the huge world of wine, for you to know smaller appellations and not so well-known grape varieties like the ones that we talked today. The world of wine is not just Chardonnays and Sauvignon Blancs. It is so much more than that, and that's why it's so interesting. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay thirsty and wise.